It should be around 9 o'clock or around noon, based on whenever your sub is kind of switching gears with you guys. But we're going to switch to project time. So you're going to go to your summitlearning.org and click on your This Year tab. You're going to find Integrated Science by scrolling down a little bit. And you're going to click on your first project called Geology Story. So projects are listed right here. If you follow it across, you'll notice there's Geology Story, and it actually is the thing that's like pushed farther back than any of the other things. So it actually won't be all lined up right here. It is actually further back. So you're going to actually click on that. And even if you are new to the platform or if you are returning to the platform project area looks different for everyone. So we're going to go over some key differences to help you navigate through this. So right when you log in, you are automatically in under Project Overview. Project Overview gives you like the basic information on the platform. So you've got your essential question, some understandings that I'd like you to know from this project. It also gives you the description of what you will be accomplishing and making. It lists all your COG skills. It gives you the option to click on the rubrics for those COG skills. It tells you the focus areas that are going to help you in order to complete this project. And it also has additional resources. So you know the scavenger hunt and the entry event comic book geek out are the two documents that you are for sure going to use today during project time. So remember, it is under Project Overview and additional resources. You'll click on those and it'll actually make a copy for you. Last but not least, I do have some of these numbered items right here that we'll talk about on the next slide. But these bottom two things have stars. That's because those are your final products for this project. So what I'd like everyone to do is click on checkpoint number 1. When you click on checkpoint number 1, a totally new screen shows up with new resources. So checkpoints are like the building blocks. They're going to help you produce your final product. It might be like chunking your project down. So for example, I've seen this a lot for like writing assignments. They might say checkpoint 1 is writing your introduction for the paper, okay? Checkpoint 2 might be writing your body, and checkpoint 3 might be writing your conclusion, okay? That would be a way to chunk it down. This checkpoint 1 for science, is actually giving you practice on a COG skill that you are going to be graded on at the final product, which is called modeling. So you're actually practicing COG skills, or it might chunk down your project. That's what those checkpoints are there for. If you look to the side where it's got like these two arrows, if you actually click on this, it should open a new document. Typically, this is where you're going to complete, you'll type in all of your answers right in that document, and your teachers will give you feedback right in there, and then they'll either turn your checkpoint red, yellow, or green. Red light is typically like you didn't do it at all, so it's telling you to stop, don't go on to the next checkpoint, you need to complete that. A yellow means you did it, but it wasn't up to our standards, so you want to make sure you're reading that teacher feedback, making fixes, and then resubmitting the checkpoint so that we can look at it again and turn it green for you. And then a green means you are good to go, okay? So that's inside that checkpoint. For our first science project, there's a lot of drawing because you're making a comic book. So I've actually printed off almost all of your checkpoints, and we're going to be doing it paper pencil because it's hard to draw on the computer. So you will actually be doing our checkpoints on paper pencil. And then last but not least, it says resources for you. Underneath here are any resources that you might need to complete the checkpoint. And today what I'm going to ask you to do is watch these two videos underneath checkpoint 1 after you're done with your scavenger hunt and your entry event. Okay? So, we're going to ignore this slide until I come back, and then that way I can help you organize that. But what I want you to do today is you are going to go to your year view if you're not already there. You're going to find Integrated Science 7, You're going to click on that project geology story. You're going to make sure you're in the project overview tab, and you're going to scroll to the bottom and find the scavenger hunt under those resources. It should look something like this, but a little bit longer. I believe there are 8 questions instead. You have 15 minutes from now to complete the scavenger hunt, and you are going to work with your shoulder partner. So that is the person sitting right next to you. Now, if you're a table of 3 or you're missing somebody for some reason, for sure work as a table of 3 instead of just a partnership. So include others, don't make them work on their own. We want to make sure everyone knows how to navigate through the project tab now, since it looks different for everyone. So even if you're new or a returning student, make sure you're working with a shoulder partner on this so that I know that everyone knows where to find this information. Once you finish your scavenger hunt, you're ready to move on to your entry event, which is called your comic book geek out. In order to find this document, you should be in your geology story project. You should be in project overview, and right underneath the resource scavenger hunt, there is a entry event comic book geek out. Now, there should be 2 to 3 comic books placed at the center of your table. You guys are gonna share those, but you're actually gonna complete this document independently because it's asking you personal questions about what kind of experiences have you had with comics. Some of you might have read Calvin and Hobbes like in 4th grade or 3rd grade. So I actually included a Calvin and Hobbes books for you to read, today in class, because they're really fun comics, let's be honest. So these are more personal questions for you, which is why you're going to complete them independently, but just know that those comic books at your table you're sharing with each other at the table. Again, you have 15 minutes to complete this task. So if you're in my slideshow, you can hit the play button and it'll give you a 15-minute countdown to kind of keep you on track. So right now you are working on that document. Last but not least, if you are in checkpoint 1 under geology story, there are 2 videos under resources for you. I also have them linked right on your slideshow, so you can click them from your slideshow. You're going to watch both of these videos, and you are going to jot down some notes in your science notebook starting from the front of the notebook. Okay, so notes on these 2, and this will help you prepare for Friday when I see you guys, and you guys will use that information for your checkpoint 1 on Friday. We're going to ignore these last couple slides, but the homework slide is very important. Now that you're on your homework slide, what I'd like you to do is pull out your planner. You have a few options today for you. These might apply to you. If they do, write them down. If they don't, then don't write them down. So if you have already, I'm going to kind of skip around. If you have already finished both success playlists, number 2 is not for you. If you have not finished both success playlists, then what I'd like you to do is set yourself a goal for homework tonight. What do you need to accomplish? Maybe it's to take notes on one of the resources. The other thing that I want you to do is if you did not pass Earth Materials and Systems playlist, it is due October 2nd, so you've got a little bit of time, but what I want you to do is make sure you set yourself a homework goal tonight for this playlist. So what do you want to accomplish? Maybe it's to take the diagnostic assessment because you didn't get to it today. Maybe it's to finish taking the notes that you were working on. Whatever goal you need in order to accomplish that. The other thing, you should have your scavenger hunt and entry event done. We had class time to do it. If you didn't, that's homework. And then your cookie dough orders are due October 3rd.